Hello, everyone. Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. Very, and I will say very strong chance of a major earthquake this week, right? From the 19th into the weekend, right? So it's very strong possibility that it's going to happen. I'm going to go into all the different aspects of this. You guys know that I've been very strong on the fact that I believe there's going to be a major earthquake and tsunami and volcanic activity this year. All right, last year was just the beginning. All right, so this year will be extremely active and probably into the following year as well. But we'll see as this year progresses, what the next year is going to look like. So this give you background on this as far as like my prediction capabilities on this. I've predicted many different earthquakes before they happened, days before they happen. Now this one, I don't feel that it's like imminent in the next day or two, but I feel that this coming week, possibly from Tuesday onward, is very strong chance. And I'll show you guys how I feel it's going to be very, very strong potential that's going to be in California because of the earthquake activity that's been happening. All right, so when you get big earthquakes on either side of a certain area, and you have a lot of little earthquakes that are like blown up in between, that gives you an indication that something big is coming in that area, pre-quakes. All right, so that puts us around the LA area. So we'll see how this goes. It could happen, obviously, some other location. Stefan Burns is like blowing the whistles and jumping up and down. He's been very good at predicting this. It's human resonance and big coronal hole that's facing Earth right now. Planetary alignments that's once in a lifetime. And then we just had a major explosion off the sun. Solar, blast, and it's coming our way. Should be here in the next couple of days. So it's very, very strong. And we're going to look at some of what Stefan Burns talked about. But first of all, I want to take you guys out. And, I think that some of this stuff is activated by deep state, right? So if you look up all day long, can you guys see? Let me see if I can get out of the way. There is major, all day long, major chemtrailing, right? And we have had, although you can still see some snow down there, we've had pretty warm temperatures here, and no rain, nothing, right? No snow. The snowpack is a little below normal, even though we've had massive amounts of rain fall. We don't have the snowpack that we normally do during this time frame. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I still feel that it is going to happen, but it seems like there's some kind of something that's going on. All right. So manipulation. There's other things, other factors that are going on. There's when you see like I just did, ex-Nickelodeon actor Kiana Underwood dies, right? So she was killed. She died at 33 years old in Brooklyn in a hit and run. So she was going across she was a Nickelodeon actress, Nickelodeon children, right? So she was going across a crosswalk. A black SUV hit her, knocked her down, and then another vehicle came right behind that one, ran over, and that's what killed her. And both vehicles got away, right? Now, you would think in, New York, Brooklyn, whatever, you would have like cameras everywhere, which they do have. They would know instantly the license plates number and maybe even could see the vehicle occupants. They're probably blacked out windows. The license plates were probably changed. Something I have done when I worked in the CIA, we changed license plates all the time. So, of course, criminals do the same thing. Deep state does the same thing. So a sacrifice, right? Was this a sacrifice for, yeah, oh my stars. That's right, Kim in Wisconsin. So, oh my stars. All right. So the planetary alignment, the solar star is booming at us. Is that some manipulation that goes on with that? I believe it does. And I believe they can control through HARP and, directed energy weapons and so forth, heat up certain aspects of the fault lines, put HARP energy into the fault lines. All of these things can cause, something that's already brewing to really cook off on another level, heat it up. And so it explodes. It was going to blow, but it's going to blow bigger. And I think that's what we're going to see. Now, I think this could be well up into the 7 range or even into the 8 range. Now, a 7.2 to 7.6 would probably rock the hell out of California. All right. Anything above that is going to be devastating. Now, when I remote view, now remote viewing it can be time sensitive. When there is like the first time this happened for me, you guys might remember when I started talking about remote viewing, or my early stages when I was in combat zones in Iraq and Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Yemen, and Bahrain, and all these other places, Libya. So all of these different places I would remote view and see attacks before they happen. Now there was normally I would get like a tension, right? And I would just relax. I'd go into a state of consciousness. God's trying to talk to me. I'm one of his messengers. So he would relay to me what was coming. And so I remember being in Pakistan one time, and I got one of those, oh, danger. So I started relaxing, and I got a time frame, but it wasn't, something was different about it. Something was very different about it. So I knew there was danger, but there was nothing visual that came to me as it normally would. So I was like, what is that? And lo and behold, 2 days later, right across the border from Pakistan and China was a massive earthquake, which killed thousands and thousands of people and caused massive amounts of damage. So I was like, oh, I can do that now. I can detect earthquakes. So that was one of those things, God's like, okay, we're going to give you some more tasks here because you're doing a really good job. So one of those tasks that I've been relaying is that, and I did it last year before the year started, I said there were going to be major earthquakes and tsunamis and tidal waves, tsunamis, tidal waves, and there was going to be volcanic activity. So we had all that last year. Massive earthquakes. We had tidal waves. All these things happen. And so I've been seeing that California was going to be hit. Now I thought it was going to be this last summer because I saw it in a warm time frame. See behind me? You look at the map on California right now, and it's like almost like late spring, early summer temperatures, guys, right? So it's the same type of temperature that I saw when I saw a massive earthquake, tsunami. Now I saw also this earthquake activity was going to cause a chain reaction into the other fault zones in California, and even all the way to here in Lake Tahoe. There's 3 fault zones that run under Lake Tahoe. That's why Lake Tahoe is so deep, right? And I saw many years ago when I lived here, I saw a tsunami in Lake Tahoe, and I was like, "How's that possible? Is a tsunami coming all the way from the ocean?" I was like, "Oh man, that's going to be something." If a tsunami comes all the way from the ocean, man, we're all dead. But it was different. It was like it just came straight up the hill, and where I was living, I remember running straight up this hill. It's like this one street called Ski Run, and I remember running up the hill, and the tsunami coming up behind me, and I finally reached a point where it didn't go any further. Right. So now other people have contacted me that are psychics as well, and have said they see a tsunami in Lake Tahoe, and they said, you need to talk about it. And I was like, okay. So I'm like the fall guy when, everybody's like, okay, put it out there. And they're like hiding behind me. It's like, go, you do it. So, but if this, and there, I looked it up, and they said that this is not unusual for Lake Tahoe to get deep earthquake activity, and it's overdue, and it causes tsunami in Lake Tahoe. So Lake Tahoe actually has tsunamis. Crazy, right? And I'm sure there's probably evidence of that. I haven't looked into it, but very, very interesting when you look at your intuitions and then you start to do the research. It's like, dang, that's that could possibly be a real thing. Now, the fact that it was many years ago, because you don't know sometimes when this is coming. Now, for me, I live way up in Lake Tahoe now. I'm not down along the coast like I used to be, or close to the coast. So it's much better spot, and so I think I'll be good. And if not, I'm not. But I've had visions of this house shaking and running out, right? And I thought it was because it was going to be from the earthquakes that are going to be coming from California, which probably will. Probably get a little shake before that, and then domino effect. It could, like, cook off here in Lake Tahoe. And like some of the other psychics that contacted me said that they saw the tsunami. Now, this is where we need to be aware of vibrational energies, right? Of course, some places I've noticed, some places hurricanes get, hurricanes get sucked into some places where the energy, the vibrational consciousness is low, where they have done some, bad things in some areas, or earthquakes and all these kind of different things. The earth responds to that, guys. God consciousness and so forth. It responds to extreme negativity. Now, we know in California there's extreme negativity. Now, one of the things that we've seen is that a lot of people have been leaving California, which could be a good thing moving forward. All right. Less death. And we've seen a lot of businesses like Elon Musk and some of the oil refineries and so forth. They've spent $1 billion just to get out of California. It's so bad here in California. And there were supposed to be a lot of gas stations. Costco was going to build a massive gas station. California is just so legislatively, regulationally out of control that everybody's just leaving. They're just not building anything. Jobs are drying up. They're leaving California on a massive scale. This could be a good thing. All right. So refineries. Now, one of the things that I've seen in my visions, in my remote views of California, when this earthquake activity happens, is that there's lots of fires. And I was like, fires? What the heck? Gas lines, but there were major fires. So and I saw water, I saw like flooding and all kind of stuff. So that sounds to me like dams are going to go. It sounds to me like refineries are going to explode and, start fires everywhere. And there's going to be, I saw fire on water. So that makes sense that we would have the refineries that are along the coast a lot of times, getting damaged and then having fires and that fluid and stuff going into the water and stuff. So that's one of the things that I've seen. Like I said, tsunami here. Now, the people, like I said, that have told me about the tsunamis happening here, there's some baddies that are here, right? Larry Ellison, we know that he's a baddie, and he does, he's a satanic type guy. And so these people, these other psychics are saying they're going to be taken out. Their homes and so forth are going to be taken out because of their negativity, right? So, there's been people that have talked about how there are some bad sacrifice type stuff that goes on here in Lake Tahoe. It's like, I'm not part of that. I've never heard of it specifically, but, I've seen it in other circles. Psychics have told me about it. Other psychics have told me about it. I think there's a possibility here, unfortunately, because what they do is they come in where there are good energies and they hijack them and they do their sacrifices, like that one I was just telling you guys about. Let me pull that up so you guys can see that. So bad energies, guys. We know that there's a lot of adrenochrome, adrenochrome making that happens in California, right? Underground facilities. So here it is. This woman, actor Kiana Underwood, dies at 33 in Brooklyn, hit and run. Former Nickelodeon actress who rose to prominence as a child performer. Now, when you work for the deep state, when you work for the Luciferian group, you are basically always going to be part of their group. And if they decide that you are going to be sacrificed, all right, in whatever manner, whether it's, like cut you open, cut your heart out, whatever they do sacrifice-wise, or if they run you over like they did her, they have that option to do that anytime. All right. Even if you're high up, they'll sacrifice you. All right. And the sacrifice could be like, Bill and Hillary Clinton. Are they going to sacrifice them? Are they going to let them, stand trial and go to jail for not showing up for the congressional committee that told them to come? And they're just like other people. Steve Bannon, who else? I can't think of his name, but there's others that basically, there's two or three others. I think three major figures with Trump during the Trump timeframe that basically that's bullshit. You guys, I'm not doing it. And so they basically throw them in jail. Are they going to do that to Bill and Hillary? Or is the deep state going to let them be sacrificed? Sacrifice them to that. And I think they've already been sacrificed. I think they're gone already. So it doesn't matter really. But here we have the incident occurred on Friday morning in the Brownsville neighborhood where Underwood was crossing an intersection. According to the New York Police Department, police said a black Ford Explorer SUV struck Underwood as she entered the roadway. After she fell to the street, a second vehicle, described by police as a black and gray sedan, also struck her before fleeing the scene. It was basically they did it on purpose, obviously. Two vehicles, I mean, neither one of these had a conscience to stop after they hit somebody. No, they hit her on purpose. And the second vehicle was to make sure she was dead. So it was a sacrifice. So 33 degree Mason bullshit, all that. So there you go. Why did they sacrifice her? Is it for this coming ritual they're going to do where they, have a massive earthquake, all right? Induce a massive earthquake. It is a possibility. So we're going to see. If we see other things that correlate, I mean, this was on, I don't know what date that was. It was today's 18th. I don't know if it happened today or happened yesterday. Whatever date it was, might correlate to some other event. I don't know. And there could be other deaths because normally what they do is they do a male and a female when they have some event. All right. You look at Michael Jackson and Farrah Fawcett died the same day. All right. So you can look back on time and see, these events. Now, did Michael Jackson actually die? I don't think so. All right. I think he's still alive. Right. But regardless, they do these events and they do them on certain dates and they do them, in conjunction with other ritual events, So just like who's that one actor just recently that died with his wife and the dog when the dog star was rising. So all of this crazy stuff, they always do that bullshit, right? It's a sacrifice. And the same thing, a major actor and his wife, spent his whole life probably doing stuff for the deep state. And here they go. They sacrificed him. All right. They were found like days later. It's crazy. All right. So Yeah, Paul Walker is sure praying. Paul Walker is still alive. It's a possibility. I haven't really looked at that one. It's not clear to me. So there's a possibility he's still alive. But San Andreas fault, we know that there's been a lot of talk about that. We've had some activity on that fault. Nothing super major. We're overdue for a major earthquake along that fault line. So this is what the fault line looks like all the way down in Brawley, California, near the border. Travels up, as you guys can see. It goes by Los Angeles, but don't be fooled. There are many faults in California. San Andreas is just a major one. And then it goes all the way up through San Francisco, through the Bay Area, and then out into off the Oregon coast, where there's another major fault line out there, where we just had a pretty significant earthquake, about a 6.1 or something like that. And that fault, when that gets hit, and it's a sliding away fault, that's the one I believe is going to cause the major tsunami. Will it happen this time? I don't think so, because of the way the Schumann resonance is responding. According to Stefan Burns, this indicates it's probably going to be on land. All right, so let's look at a little bit more the fault lines. Let's look at all the different fault lines in Cali. There's quite a few of them. If you've ever done this study, of course, I've spent a lot of time in California, but I really started looking at this as I started to see this potential major earthquake that's coming, and I believe it's coming soon. Major fault lines in California, see San Andreas, which is transform type, because it transforms everything, right, massively. San Jacinto fault, it's a strike slip. Hayward fault, strike slip. Elsinore fault, Imperial fault. But those are some of the major ones. Now you see the time frame here. The Hayward fault, I think, is ready to really hammer away as well. I think that's one of the reasons why I think there's going to be a domino effect. I think the San Andreas goes, and I think the Hayward fault goes, and just pushes, just dominoes throughout California. All right. So last time the Hayward fault has gone off is 1868, 1906. Of course, I believe that was the San Francisco, big San Francisco quake. So we're overdue. Usually these happen in a little bit less of a time frame. Usually less than 100 years. So we're well over 100 years for both of those. So very, very high potential that we're going to see these basically have a major eruption, right? So our major slip, slide, and transform, whatever they do, right? So now obviously I'm not a hurricane dude, earthquake guy. I haven't studied any of that stuff, but I'm very advanced, and I think this is where consciousness is going to go in the future. It's not so much that we're going to be book smart as we're going to be intuitive smart, right? So if you're like me and some other people like Stefan Burns, you're very intuitive. That, I think, is a consciousness. That's the consciousness that's going to be recognized in the future as evidence of advanced consciousness and so forth. So I know that's the way it's going to be. All right. So let's look at Stefan Burns. Stefan Burns, as you're going to see here, he seems to be very excited. Right. All right. So he's got somebody that's doing his, or maybe he even does this, that's doing his graphics. So as you see here, he's pretty excited. All right. He did one maybe 5 or 6, maybe a little bit longer ago, where he talked about some of this stuff. So as you see here, humongous coronal hole. We're going to look at that. That giant solar flare just lit up and it's coming our way. Once in a lifetime planetary alignment of the planets, of course, and crazy Schumann anomalies, which always happen, as he's pointed out, just before a major earthquake. All right, so let's jump in.
Hey everyone, geophysicist Stefan Burns here. Things are going nuts right now, not only here on Earth, but with the sun, and in fact, the entire solar system.
Yeah, I like the way he did that. Not only here on Earth, nuts, going nuts, as we know everything is. To me, everything seems to be pretty planned out. But for a lot of people, it seems really nutsoid. Now, this is pretty much, like I've been saying, this is kind of planned out because consciousness is going to attract this or stop it from happening. So one of the reasons why I know I'm out of California and a good distance away from it, even though I'm up here in a mountain where there's fault zones, is that I think that California is going to get hammered, right? And a good portion of that is because of the extremely low vibratory fields that are there. You have an incredibly corrupt governor there, Gavin Newsom, who I've been working on, as I've talked about, from the angelic realm. And it is quite a shit show in that angelic realm, guys. We're going in and we're hitting some baddies, right? Some dark angels. So there's a lot of problems here in California, and it attracts this type of activity. So the Earth is not very happy. God's not very happy with California. And I think that's why we're going to see major Earth change activity here in California. Now, I remember when I went to New York, that's before the two towers fell. All right. I was running the hand-to-hand program for the Navy SEAL team. So me and my instructor team, we went to Maryland to learn some very advanced skills. So we're like, we're going to be taking a plane. We're taking it out of New York. So we're like, we got some time. Let's walk the streets of New York. So we walked the streets of New York. It was interesting. We went to the top of the World Trade Center towers. We're at the top of them. It was quite a view. Stunning, everything. I don't know if we ate up there or something. But it was, I remember the people, not very friendly. And I took note of that. And I was like, and I'm a psychic, even all the way back then. I was like, something's going to change. All right. I felt that these people are going to get awakened. All right. They're going to get a strong awakening event. And sure enough, even before the towers collapsed, a month before the towers collapsed, I felt, I was telling everybody, I felt something really major was coming. We needed to beef up our security. I was at the Naval Academy at the time. I said, we have to beef up our security. I remember talking about it to all of the, just before they went on vacation, because this was August timeframe. So I think it was like late June before everybody went on vacation. I did a anti-terrorism brief, and the whole, there was like all senior enlisted guys there. Were doing these briefs, and like they'd have like the other guys would have a handful of people come out, and here's a guy that knows terrorism and stuff like that. So they the whole academy, there was like thousands came to the event, and I was telling them all these different things. I said, I feel very strongly that you guys need to really be aware. And some people laughed, and but the senior, the captains, there was there's tons of captains, Navy captains at the academy. There's a 3-star admiral there. They all took notice. They all felt it too, I believe. When I said it, they came, they were concerned. They asked me a lot of questions, and I told them, yeah, this is what I'm seeing. And then I remember, working out of the gym or something. I was going up to the office there at the academy where I worked at, and I was leaving in my car, and I was driving in, leaving something, and I saw a Middle Eastern guy. So, I've been to the Middle East quite a bit before that, and I know Middle Easterners. And he was driving, and this is how I kind of told everybody, you could have them come in, and I said, it'd be very easy for them to come in a moving truck. I told them that because I saw the way, they just waved in moving trucks. I watch everything. And here I see this Middle Eastern guy in a moving truck, driving out the academy. And I was like, he's probably doing a trial run to see how far he can get in. And so I turned my car around as fast as I could. I tried to follow him, but he was already, you know, if you've ever been to Annapolis, it's not an easy place to get around. So I lost him. And before I could get out the gate and get, you know, hit the turn where he went, he was gone. So I don't know if he saw that I was onto him or what, and he like hit the gas, but whatever. You know, we got word later after the attack that the Naval Academy was one of the target places that they had planned to hit. So I think that because I spoke out and I told everybody that there was going to be a possibility of an attack at the Naval Academy and this blah, blah, blah. And they beefed up security. So it went from an easy target to a hard target. So maybe they called it off. Maybe that's why we didn't get hit. I don't know. So sometimes you'll never know. So this is the crazy times we're in right now. Of course, we're seeing in Wisconsin and Minneapolis. I think Wisconsin, we're going to trade Wisconsin out for Alberta. Wisconsin's going to go to Canada, and we're going to get Alberta. And I'm kidding. We would never give up Wisconsin. It's mostly conservatives in there anyway. Just the crazies are in the big cities, like I've said. So, but I do think we're going to get Alberta and many more provinces in Canada, and then eventually all of Canada. So, and Greenland and Mexico, but we won't own them. We'll work with them, and we'll create a very good trading environment, because we're going to have like incredible things, free energy and flying cars and all kind of great stuff. So everybody's going to want to be trading with us, and everybody's going to be part of us, and we're going to just make that happen. But in the meantime, there are some very negative things that are going to be coming about over the next several years. One of those will be Earth change activity, because just like I saw after I went back to New York after the Twin Towers came down, I went there to check it out long after, because I didn't want to get radiated, right? Because of direct energy weapons there. I didn't even know that direct energy weapons could cause radiation problems, right, at the time. But I felt that I'm not going anywhere near that site. And I had my kids, and I took them there, and I told them about it, and we walked around the areas far away from there. And everybody was nice. Everybody was nice in New York. Very nice, right? Nicer than just about any place you'll ever want to go. And just like that, that time that I was there, and I said, there's probably going to be an event. I feel like there's going to be an event that's going to happen here in New York. I feel there's going to be an event that's going to happen in California, right? So I see this is going to be a massive loss of life event, all right, when it does happen. All right. Of course, I hope it doesn't. I pray that it doesn't. And I send my good energy there. And as you guys know, I work on different dimensional realms and fight evil. I'm doing the best that I can for California, but I think there's a very strong possibility that California, because of all the evil that's there, is going to suffer.
We have a convergence of events, and things are going insane. I don't know where this is going to lead, but today, just now, we had a 1.95 X-class flare blast off from the sun. We can see it very clearly with our 131 angstrom imagery. As I'm recording this, it is still happening. As you can see, this blasted a massive coronal mass ejection out into space directly towards Earth, and that is going to hit us in about 2 to 3 days and trigger a significant geomagnetic storm, very likely G3 or even G4 levels, perhaps stronger than that. We could get more activity from this sunspot group here for 341. In fact, I think that's likely to occur. It's not yet exactly Earth center and direct. It still has about 3 days to go. We have a significant planetary alignment right now. We have Venus, Mars, and Mercury all on the far side of the sun, closely conjunct the sun. Pluto is there as well, and today is the new moon. Happy new moon, everyone, meaning that Earth's moon is positioned in front of the Earth and between the Earth and the sun. Also in this alignment, Jupiter is directly behind us. So almost every single significant point and planet in the sun in our solar system is participating in this alignment, excluding the outermost gas giants. So they are also configured in their own alignment with Saturn and Neptune conjunct with Uranus and Pluto. All 2024, they looked very much like this, but they were much shorter in duration. Those preceded high magnitude 7+ earthquakes. So we could be looking at a huge earthquake in the immediate future, likely land-based, because usually those signals for ocean-based earthquakes are absorbed by the conductive seawater, but they also look like they could be man-made electromagnetic signals. So some sort of weird frequency.
All right. So I pointed this out with the several years ago when there was an earthquake in Turkey, which was followed very quickly by another very high level earthquake, just barely below the one that happened. That's extremely, extremely rare. And I felt at the time, and I said at the time, that I felt that that was something that they were doing to try and get Turkey to do certain things at the time. So Turkey did do those things that they wanted them to do. And so I guess they didn't get any more earthquakes, but it was, people were saying, it's probably maybe 1,000 people lost their lives. And I said, nope, that's going to be upwards of 10,000. And sure enough, it was. All right. So now what will be, if it does come, what will be the, the death rate for California? I think it's going to be unbelievably significant. All right. I think there's going to be as well, because a lot of the crazy that they would do that, but I guess they were getting a good deal. I don't know what the hell they were thinking about, but a lot of the electric generation plants that are nuclear are along fault lines. Other generation plants are along fault lines. Some of the plants for oil and gas refining are along fault lines. So there's going to be major destruction, and from possible problems with the nuclear power plants that might get disrupted, or the refineries and the gases that come from that, and the toxic everything that comes from those things. We're going to see major loss of life from that as well, I think, in California when it does happen. So yeah, one fault going off in one location, that's bad enough, but this could be, like I said, domino effect type faults. Now you're seeing right here, Stefan Burns is showing you that there's, we have the coronal hole, that's our coronal mass ejection that's coming at us. We just had a sunspot that basically blew off lots of energy at us, magnetic energy. These are all, those two things alone are pretty significant, but we're also seeing, which is an indicator like he's talking about, the Schumann resonance is blowing up. And every time it does this, within a few days, there's usually a very major significant earthquake. So you have not only the Schumann resonance like spiking, but you have coronal hole that's pointing at us with a lot of energy. And then we just had, as you saw, a coronal mass ejection. And who knows, we could get more of that. So it's not looking so good.
Manipulation that's occurring. I don't know.
So yes, like he's saying, manipulation. Like I said in the beginning, like you saw in the atmosphere here, where there's chemtrailing all day long on a massive level here, and this, where you saw those, are over California. That's not Nevada, where I'm at. That's California side, out over that area. So I think there's going to be, because what they can do is they can create those clouds, and they can bounce their HAARP energy off those clouds, and are directed energy weapons. I don't know. So, but I've heard how they use HAARP to basically through using clouds and so forth that they create, that has particles of nanoparticles or whatever the heck it has in them, metals, or whatever they have in them. It can induce even more problems when they hit it with HAARP. All right, so I think that's what we're seeing. I think that's what we're going to see. So Now, what do you do if you're in California? Well, you're going to have to start to, listen to your intuition. You're going to, if, your pets get crazy, if you start having these crazy feelings, and don't let me, influence you, stay calm, stay cool, stay open-minded. But if you start to feel things aren't quite right, this is what I've been feeling. I've had dreams of California, recently. I see myself in dreams and, survival mode. I hope it doesn't, come to my area too, but I pick up on the, frequencies of others that are possibly going to suffer as well. And some of you guys are like that as well. You're basically tapped into different frequencies. You can feel these things. So not only intuitive, but also, energy, you feel these energies before they come. And that's what I'm feeling.
There's a lot out there on that. Some of these, groups have been doing this covertly for 50 plus years now. So it's not out of the book. It's not out of the question. And we know that these rhythms, these electromagnetic frequencies in the Schumann resonance range of 0 to 50 hertz overlap with our brain waves and our basic biologic rhythms. And that's why they're experimenting with that in terms of it.
All right. And so like he's talking about the Schumann resonance, once it's being influenced, it interacts with our bio and, our brain, our neurons and so forth, neurons in your gut. So you get that, that gut feeling that something's off. You get that, that feeling in your heart, the brain and heart coherence. If you're, tapped into that, you're going to get, possibly some intuitions. You'll start to feel, you won't feel right. Something doesn't feel right. You listen to that and hopefully you're going to get some guidance. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen this week in California. And that's why I say you need to listen to your intuition. It could be further out. I'm surprised it's been this long. So I feel strongly if it doesn't happen soon, it's going to happen sooner, or I don't know. It's going to happen this year. I feel very strongly, and maybe, this week, guys. So just be heads up. I'm not a doomer. I'm not a gloomer. I'm just an informer. I get these energies. I feel these energies. I get these intuitions from God, and I'm like, do I have to? If it doesn't happen, then everybody's going to not like me. But I'm over that. There's a lot of people who don't like me, so screw you guys that don't like me. You're not even listening anyway, so I don't care. But there is a lot of of you out there that are tapped into this. So just feel your way through this. Try and keep people informed. Don't put them in fear. I don't want anybody to be in fear, because if you're in fear, you're not going to be tapped into your intuition. You won't know what to do. All right.
Control the populace and their minds and more. It gets wild. We have that happening right now. We also have a gigantic coronal hole on the Earth facing side of the sun that is about to connect to us with its open magnetic field extending deep into interplanetary space. We're about to get hit with a high-speed stream from that. And typically when we get these sort of significant high-speed stream impacts and we connect to these very large trans-equatorial coronal holes, we often get high-magnitude earthquakes to follow. There's a clear correlation there. And so we have all the factors converging right now for a gigantic earthquake to occur.
All right. So all the factors are there for a gigantic earthquake to occur. All right. So let's look at some of the different faults out there. We'll zero in on them, get an idea of where they're at. Now you look at, we're backed off pretty good. We see all about California. You see these, colored lines in there. We're just going to go in. All right, we're going to go in and start to see. Oh wow, there's lots of faults, and I'm even going to take you up to my area of Lake Tahoe to show you there's where those 3 different faults are. So as you guys can see, you have the major San Andreas, but there's a lot of other faults around Los Angeles. Right. See all these little squiggly lines? Those are all faults, right? So let's go in deeper. There's the Charnock Fault over here. We got the Raymond Fault. We got the Hollywood Fault. We got the Whittier Fault, the Norwalk Fault, the Walnut Creek Fault. They're all around California or Los Angeles, guys, all around. Sierra Madre Fault zone. So that's kind of out there in the mountains. So, but yeah, we have a lot of Los Alamitos Fault, the Verdes Fault, Cabrillo Fault. There's, you get the Mexicans coming in here. They're all faulted up too. No, I'm kidding. But there's lots of fault activity in Los Angeles, right? Los Angeles. And of course, all the way up into, let's go all the way up into San Francisco. So as you see in San Francisco is riddled as well. All right. And probably even more than Los Angeles. Now over here in Lake Tahoe, zero in, where am I? Is it further down? Sacramento, where's Sacramento? Here it is right here. All right. So zeroing in on Lake Tahoe, so all the way through the mountains, we have faults, and as you can see here in Tahoe, you have the Tahoe Fault, you have the Incline Village Fault, and the Tahoe Fault. So all these different faults, I believe, are going to cause at some point a tsunami. Right now, I had this one psychic that told me that when this tsunami happens, it's going to destroy all the baddies' homes, and then it's going to go down. It goes down this river, or actually it goes back this way and into Reno. So it comes around. There's a river that goes all the way down, the Tahoe River, I think, something like that. And this woman said she saw Reno getting hit by the tsunami that devastates Tahoe. That gets triggered into Tahoe, and it goes down the river and basically comes down. I think it's a Truckee River, and then it comes into Reno and causes massive flooding in Reno. I was like, wow, okay, that's a pretty good one. I haven't seen that one, but like I said, there's a lot of psychics that are seeing this stuff. So I'm not the only one, right? Now, the San Andreas, they tell us what's coming. So we had a movie, and so I'm the white Dwayne Johnson, right? That's what people call me. They call me the White Rock. Because we look so much alike. It's funny. But, here we have the Rock here in the movie San Andreas. This was released like 11 years ago almost. May 29th is when it came out. So, 10 years, a little over 10 years ago. It cost them $110 million to make that. That's a lot of money back then, but they made $475 million. So that was a good showing. But a lot of people saw this. And, it showed all of the devastation that happened in that movie to Los Angeles, right? As you see here, everything's falling down. He's in the helo, like, what the hell do I do? How do I help people? So that's the way it's going to be for a lot of people, unfortunately, I think, when this really does happen, when it does come. All right. So latest earthquakes, let's look at the USGS. So this gives us an idea of what's actually happening right now, right? So this gives us an indication of what might be transpiring. So this is, you see all these reds? So these are just recent. So that just happened. Dang, that just happened. What was that? Within the last 30 minutes or so, maybe even less. 4.2, that's off the coast. That's where the big tsunami's coming, I believe. So you had, you know, back in, when was that one? 6.0 off of Oregon. That was, oh, look at that, 10 kilometers. That was on the 15th. So 3 days ago. That's significant, 6.0. Now, like I said, there's bracketing that happened. So down in here, we had the Acapulco, pretty significant Acapulco earthquake. Let's see if I can get it. 6.5 Rancho Viejo. That was on, that's not so soon ago. That was January 2nd. But where was the other one? There was another one that was pretty significant. So anyway, you have two. You have the one here, and you have the one here. So you basically bracket in, you know, in the middle, and that's showing you right there in the LA area. So see all of the earthquake, and it's when you see red like that, which is looks like it's cooking, it's getting ready, right? There's possibility that you're going to have something pretty soon. So let's zero it in. Let's do 1 day, 2.5 or greater. So you see Los Angeles. Los Angeles is kicking, right? That's a 2.9 in Johannesburg, and Little Creek or Leyte Creek, Octio Wells. So they're, you know, they're cooking there. Let's go 1 day, all magnitude. So again, all magnitude. Los Angeles is getting a lot of them. Now, this is not unusual for California to get a lot of earthquakes. But look where the focus is. And like I'm saying, you know, we got all this energy coming in, and it looks like we got these two big earthquakes, 4.5 or greater. So you see in between where these significant earthquakes over the last 7 days are. Go back 30 days out. So here it is. So here's that one. I think, yeah, 6.5, Rancho Viejo, and then the 6 point came in at 6.1, and then downgraded 6.0. But anyway, and then there you have pretty good one there in San Francisco's 3.9. So let's look at 7 days. Really getting active there. All right. Really starting to, you know, tell us something there, I believe. All right, let's look at the 30 days. 30 days, 4.5. 30 days, 2.5. 30 days, all magnitudes, and it's like cooking. All right. And those guys out in El Paso better look out too. All right. So, hey, Nino, look out, man. So look at all the stuff that's coming up. That's coming around the bend. So you got a lot of energy coming up here, and when it starts to get, you know, tight in this bend and starts to flow down, that's when you need to look out. All right, so that's what we're seeing. We're seeing all this energy coming in, and it's cooking around that that corner there. Let's zero in on that a little bit. So Alaska, yeah, it's building and cooking down, and you know, comes around that bend and cooks off here. But if it continues down, then we're going to see it in the United States. So that's what we're seeing, right? So that's the earthquake activity. We're going to see, I think, at some point, whether it's this week or following weeks or months or whatever, we're going to see a very, very significant earthquake activity coming for California. All right, so let's look at Greenland. Greenland reality check. All right, so this is something we're going to get Greenland, right? It's a done deal. Stephen Miller just proved Denmark's claim is a total joke. So Stephen Miller, President Trump's White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, said Greenland is central to U.S. national security, arguing that Denmark lacks the capacity to defend or control the territory while expecting the United States to shoulder the cost. of course, we have basically, protected Europe for a long time, World War I, World War II. And we've done the same thing with Greenland throughout all these wars. And, the costs are not fair. Did you know that Greenland is 25% larger than Alaska? I didn't know that. It was crazy. So Miller emphasized the sheer size of Greenland, noting that it far exceeds what many Americans may realize and presents major defense challenges that only the United States can face and take care of, because China and Russia are trying to be, there's a lot of Arctic activities evidently happening now. So it's very important for not only our defense, but for Europe's defense as well. So Europe's playing this stupid little game like they always do. I say get the hell out of NATO and just let them find out. Right? They're effing around. They're going to let them find out. Right? Really, this goes all the way to England. All right, the city of London. All right, the financial district, and we're seeing the price of silver skyrocketing. And basically, Trump said that any country, Europe, that tries to be a jackass. He didn't say those words, of course, but those are mine. And try and dissuade us from being involved with Greenland, which we already have base there. Then we're going to give you 10% tariffs, and that's what he's done. So with that 10% tariffs, that means that silver, which the city of London, the London Exchange, does not have a lot of, and they've been relying on New York to ship to them to meet their needs, so they can cover their their shorts and all that kind of stuff. It's not going to come now, and so the price of silver is probably going to skyrocket in England, because they can't meet those demands that are coming now. No one wants the paper; they want the real thing, all around the world. And so we may see the price of silver go up quite a bit. The price of silver right now in China, I just looked at it in Shanghai Exchange, it's 101. And when we opened, so the price of silver got pushed down on Friday so that the big banks could get out of their shorts and buy silver at a cheap price. They pushed it down because it was option expiration date. So they come in and play their games, because they've owned a lot of this stuff for a long time. And now they're getting to the point where they've been trying to short silver for a long time, and now it's not working for them at all. And they're getting caught, and they're losing a lot of money, all right? Billions and billions and billions. And of course, the Federal Reserve, which is not federal and they have no reserves, is probably going to cut rates next week. So I think we're going to see the stock market go up a little bit, maybe sideways, and they're going to be like, maybe down, up, down, until next week, next Tuesday, when the Fed rate decision comes. I think they're going to cut rates so that they give more crack toilet paper money to the stock market and investors, so they can invest it into crypto, and the smart money will go into silver and gold and platinum, and those will go up significantly as well. I think into the $112 to $125 range, but we'll see. All right. So the dollar is going to be have less worth, right? And that means that silver and gold will be worth more, because that's where money doesn't just sit; it goes places, all right? And it goes somewhere, and it's going to go into silver, like it's been doing, because that's where the real, crypto type returns are happening. I've been saying this for a year. All right, get into silver. Remember, early last year, I was like, it's going to like, I see it going to between 75 and 85 by the end of the year. And I said that back when it was, I don't know, 25, 30. And so everybody was like doubting Thomas's, right? And then I said, put your finger in the hole. No, go and you'll see. You're going to find out. You're going to F around. You're going to find out. So, and now people are scrambling and they're jumping into silver with both feet and both hands. And they're finding out. They're going to find out that it's going to go much higher, much higher. And that's going to destroy the banking cartel. It's going to destroy the City of London banking cartel. And that's good. But it's also going to put pressure on the United States to come up with the silver. And that's why we are going into Mexico, and we're also going into Venezuela and Colombia. Colombia is really where the big money is. Now, the big banks were money laundering the oil from Venezuela. So Trump has stopped that. So the people of Venezuela now the United States is buying a lot of oil from Venezuela, and the people are going to benefit from that, right? So there were some bad apples in the oil companies, ConocoPhillips and I think ExxonMobil. Bad, all right? And I don't know if they were involved in Iran back in the before the the revolution, but there's some bad companies here, and basically Trump called them out. I guess he had a meeting with all the oil companies, and like you're going to go down to Venezuela, we're going to make Venezuelan oil pump, and then I don't know if it was Conoco or ExxonMobil. One of them said, well, now Chevron, is it Chevron? Maybe not Chevron, but there was one oil company that's always done the right thing down there, right? And so they've done a good job. Now, Trump was at this meeting, and I think it was ExxonMobil, or one of them was like crying because he's like they're like or we're going to get any of our investment back or something like that, and he's like well, how much are you out? And they said 12 billion, and Trump said that's a good write-off. So he's not going to let these guys go in and rape again, guys. It's going to be fair. It's going to be equitable. And the same thing is going to happen with silver in Mexico, because Mexico is a huge producer. So is Peru. A lot of those countries, once we took down the Venezuelan voting, control that was going on for most of the world, then we're going to see a lot of countries now get fair and equitable voting, especially here in the United States, which the Democrats aren't going to like at all. They're not going to like that at all. Right? So, and they're fighting. Now, we know that the Black community, they did all those, with George Floyd. The Black community basically, rioted like crazy. Democrats told them, we're going to give you reparations from the Civil War for being slaves from a long time ago. It's like, what? And, so the Democrats were making all these promises. So they rioted. All right. Who's rioting now? And who's rioting for those people? The radical leftist women, right? They're the worst. All right. But, some guys, some kind of guys, all right. Some kind of male looking guys, I guess we could say that. Not so much males, but, weak woke men and wokester women. All right. So that's sad. It's unfortunate. They've been consciously compromised, like I talk about. But they're it's mostly them that are rioting now. How about that? And who are they rioting for? They're rioting for the illegal aliens, who are the new puppets. It used to be the Black community. Now it is the illegal aliens. Now the Democrat Party has given everything to the legal aliens, and the Black community is like, WTF, right? And they're like turning away. They turned away a massive number during Trump's last election. And I promise you, they're turning away a lot more now. So you don't see any of the Black community involved in this now, guys. They're like, burn me once, burn me twice. Burn me once, shame on you. Burn me twice, shame on me. So they're like, we need to wake up because we're getting burned and burned and burned and burned and burned and burned. So it's time for Black community to wake up, and I think they're doing it. All right. So they're turning against the Democrat Party. Now, when the illegal aliens find out that now they're effing around, they're finding out, and they're getting shipped out of here in big numbers. They're like, WTF? I thought they were going to take care of us. No. So this is a generational thing right now, guys. That's why they're fighting so hard in Wisconsin, and they're probably going to fight hard in other states as well, right? Because if they lose this next puppet class, all right, they're done. And I've been saying this for a long time. They're done. Democrats are done, all right? And the rhinos. And probably almost all of the political types. Now, I've heard that from Sheila Holm that could be something happening on the 20th, right? That's Tuesday. That would be the day that we might see a major earthquake. So, these puppets and puppet masters still have a long fight left in them, guys. All right. And we're gonna have to really hunker down and make sure that we're in the right position to not get caught up in it. Right. All right, guys. That's all I got for tonight. And I hope this earthquake here in California doesn't happen, but it looks very strongly that there's going to be a major, major earthquake, if not in California, then somewhere in the world. So prayers for wherever that goes, whoever that impacts. And I hope that, it's not that much of an impact, right? All right, lots of love. Stay in the love vibration, because without being in the love vibration, you are a puppet for the deep state. Yes.